retired a few years ago, I had done 25 years service with Tendring District Council as a local government officer. So it seemed right that I could take that experience and that knowledge and take that into being a councillor. Also, when my husband and I moved to Sudbury 22 years ago, we just fell in love with the area and we wanted to put something back into it. So being a councillor seemed the obvious choice.
So I became a councillor because I found that I was really passionate about my community, but there were several areas where I know people had strong feelings, so antisocial behaviour, issues around development, things like roads not being swept, those sorts of things. And I think it was one of those situations where you can either sit on the sidelines and do nothing and complain, or you can literally roll up your sleeves and get involved. So from my perspective, it was something that's very easy to do. Everyone comes at it with a different perspective, and especially what I found quite powerful was that there are so few young councillors. So they tend to be of a particular age, similar background, and actually I think it was really quite interesting watching people's reactions, saying, oh, here's someone who's a little bit younger than most local councillors, but actually really cares about their local area and wants to make it a better place to live and work.
I became a councillor because I was involved in my community and I wanted to do more. I was on the parish council, involved in the local church, involved in local business. You know, I just enjoy meeting people, speaking to them, and trying to help them where I can.
To start with, I thought, oh no, I can't possibly do that. And then I thought, oh, I don't know, there's an awful lot of men and there's an awful lot of people traditionally doing it. So I said, oh, okay. And I didn't win. I lost by a handful of votes. So obviously, when the next session came round, I thought so many people had voted for me and had obviously given me the confidence to go ahead and do it properly, which I did, and that time won with a really good majority.
So I fell into being a councillor, and people said, oh, you're quite good at this, you should do that. And sometimes you think, yes, I could do that. I stood to make a difference, I stood to make a point, I stood to achieve things that I feel strongly about.
I became a councillor because I started as a parish councillor. I could see a need at the district level, and so I put my name forward. It was as simple as that. So you serve your community, which was what my aim was. I got there and I found I'm not just serving my community, but I'm serving all the communities across the district.
Helping people with problems, casework we call it, you know, getting their bins emptied, helping them with a planning application, those sort of things, you can actually make a real difference to someone, and yeah, those are the things I'm proud of.
So I had the opportunity, after 35 years of Babergh not building or acquiring new homes, we set up a policy, we delivered on a policy that enabled us to do exactly that. So after the last 5 years, we have actually delivered an additional 238 homes to provide a house for somebody that's in need.
When my village lost its shop and its post office, and the village was, what do we do now? And then I went to my council and I said, you've got a small accommodation that nobody uses. Could I have it, please? Could I have it for a community shop and a post office, which they leased to us. I mean, it's run by volunteers. We needed it to be a safe place for the post office, and I'm thrilled to say that that's now been going probably 15 years.
As a local ward member, I represent 5 individual villages, and there are some things that they're very easy to overlook or ignore if you're a larger sort of corporate body or entity, but it's things like fixing the roof of a village hall, helping with some speeding issues on a particular stretch of road. It's relatively minor things, but in terms of the quality of life for people living there, that makes a real difference.
Government is not just what's at the top, it's local government, parish councils. That's the most important. That's you, that's your village, that's your pub, that's your post office. And that's where we need good people. And it's so important because if they like it and they're good, and they get re-elected, then they can move upwards.
We need to see a wider range of people becoming councillors. You know, to be frank, a lot of us are male, pale and stale, you know, so we need some younger folk. We need people from different backgrounds who can bring, you know, a diversity of views to the council and perhaps reflect to the wider society. We need a wider range of people just simply because that's what society is.
I would definitely like to see more young people. I'd like to see a lot more diversity amongst the councillors.
Really important actually that younger people become councillors, just because it is a different perspective. I mean, I've seen numerous occasions where there'll be certain viewpoints, certain perspectives that either haven't been understood or been misrepresented, or perhaps where the sort of younger voice and a younger person's perspective isn't necessarily being given the weight that I think it should.
And it's easy to learn. The more effort you put in, the more you get out of it, and the more your community and all the communities get out of it. Look for a place that you can do it. A good place to start, and I would recommend this to anybody in a rural area that is parishes, is to try a parish council.
A few years ago, the town council, we participated in a shadow in a councillor scheme. It's a central government scheme. So we had 4 students, and they were assigned one councillor, and they would shadow that councillor for 6 months. And then it was great, because then they went to London to get their certificates at the Houses of Parliament. It was fantastic. And one of those young councillors actually stood for town council at a later date to become a town councillor.
If you feel strongly about an issue, like I do about environmental issues, that's an opportunity then to make a difference, come in and help steer your community and the district in a slightly different direction.